Why the Roman Empire Fell, a quick journey through mistakes and disasters. Episode 1, The Height Before the Fall. At its peak, the Roman Empire stretched from Britain to the Middle East, commanding millions of subjects and vast resources. Rome built grand cities, magnificent roads, and an enduring legal system. Yet even at its zenith, seeds of decline were already being sown. The empire's success led to overconfidence, complacency, and an overwhelming complexity that would eventually become unmanageable. Behind the marble facades and military triumphs, cracks in the foundation had already begun to form. Episode 2, Political Chaos and Corruption. Rome's political system deteriorated as ambition and greed consumed its leadership. Emperors rose and fell with alarming speed, often murdered by their own guards or rivals. In just one 50-year period, from 235 to 284 AD, Rome saw over 20 emperors, many of them ruling only briefly. Loyalty to the empire gave way to personal ambition. The Senate, once a proud institution, became largely symbolic. Corruption spread through every level of government, eroding public trust and creating a leadership vacuum that weakened the state from within. Episode 3, Economic Collapse. As political stability crumbled, so too did Rome's economy. Endless wars drained the treasury, while heavy taxation crushed the middle and lower classes. To cover mounting costs, emperors debased the currency, flooding the market with coins of lesser value. This led to rampant inflation, making everyday goods unaffordable for ordinary citizens. Trade routes, once the veins of Rome's wealth, became unsafe due to piracy and barbarian raids. An economy once built on conquest, trade, and agriculture spiraled into chaos. Episode 4, Military Problems and Mercenary Armies. Rome's military, once the envy of the world, became another source of decay. As citizen loyalty waned, the empire increasingly relied on mercenaries, foreign soldiers paid to fight Rome's battles. These mercenaries had little loyalty to Rome itself, serving whoever could pay them the most. Discipline declined and battlefield effectiveness weakened. Meanwhile, constant pressure from barbarian tribes like the Goths, Vandals, and Huns stretched Rome's defenses thin. The empire's once-invincible legions became fragmented and unreliable. Episode 5, Division of the Empire. In an attempt to manage its vast territories, Emperor Diocletian divided the empire in 285 AD into eastern and western halves. While the Eastern Roman Empire, later known as the Byzantine Empire, would survive for another 1,000 years, the Western Empire grew increasingly vulnerable. The division created administrative confusion and competition rather than unity. Resources that could have fortified one strong empire were instead split, leaving both halves weaker and more exposed to internal and external threats. Episode 6, Invasions and Barbarian Pressure. The migration of various barbarian tribes into Roman lands marked a turning point. The Visigoths sacked Rome itself in 410 AD, shocking the world and shattering the illusion of Roman invincibility. Other groups, like the Vandals, crossed into North Africa, cutting off vital grain supplies. The Huns, led by the fearsome Attila, ravaged Roman territories across Europe. Rome's inability to repel these invasions wasn't just a military failure. It symbolized the collapse of Roman authority and the empire's loss of control over its own destiny. Episode 7, Cultural Decay and Loss of Civic Virtue. Many historians argue that Rome fell not only due to external pressures, but also because of internal moral decay. Civic duty, discipline, and public service, values that once defined Roman identity, gave way to selfishness, luxury, and apathy. Gladiatorial games, once rare, became a daily addiction. Public office was seen more as a way to enrich oneself than to serve the people. Rome's citizens, especially its elites, lost the will to defend the empire, preferring comfort over sacrifice. The weakening of these cultural values made the empire increasingly hollow and fragile. Episode 8, The Rise of Christianity. The rise of Christianity fundamentally changed the character of the Roman Empire. As Christianity spread, it challenged traditional Roman values, weakened the authority of the emperor, who was previously seen as semi-divine, and redirected loyalty from the state to the church. Emperor Constantine's conversion and the Edict of Milan in 313 AD legalized Christianity, and within decades it became the dominant religion. While Christianity provided spiritual unity for many, it also contributed to division within Roman society and shifted focus away from the civic and martial values that had once sustained the empire. Episode 9, The Final Blow. In 476 AD, the last Roman emperor of the West, Romulus Augustulus, was deposed by the Germanic chieftain Odoacer. No great battle marked the end. Rather, the fall of Rome was more like a slow, painful collapse. The Western Roman Empire faded into history, replaced by a patchwork of barbarian kingdoms. However, Rome's legacy lived on. Its laws, architecture, language, and ideals continued to shape the future of Europe and the world. The fall of Rome was not just a story of disaster, but a transformation that gave birth to a new age.